This is the story of Suzie. Suzie believed in Jesus, and Jesus is the light of the world. Before each meal, Suzie would thank Jesus for the food someone else bred, slaughtered, harvested, canned, prepared, cooked, and presented. No food would be eaten until it was properly blessed. Before bedtime, Suzie would pray for Jesus to heal the sick, comfort the afflicted, and ease the suffering in the world. Of course, when Suzie awoke, the world's problems were still there. But somehow, it was all part of God's divine plan. When Suzie got sick, she prayed for healing. Then she paid a doctor, took prescription medication, and took weeks to recover naturally. When Suzie was confused, she prayed for answers. When her ears picked up no audible reply, she simply guessed and called it divine inspiration. When Suzie's mother was in a car accident, Suzie thanked God that Mum was only horribly injured and not killed immediately. Suzie then prayed to Jesus for healing, and then she paid thousands of dollars to trained medical personnel. Suzie went to church, thanking Jesus for being so good. When the pastor was suddenly gunned down by a crazed madman during a sermon about divine protection, Suzie was horrified, so she prayed a prayer of thanks that pastor was in a better place. She also prayed for the widow and children, that they would see that it's all part of God's special plan for their lives. When hurricanes came, Suzie prayed and thanked Jesus that only a few thousand were homeless and only a few $1 billion in damage was done. For the millions worldwide afflicted with disease, Suzie prayed and asked Jesus that a vaccine might be found in a laboratory. After all, it made sense that science should do the actual healing. God was busy, making the world wonderful. For the starving and oppressed, Suzie wore a special ribbon that showed how much she cared. Then she went home and watched American Idol. Yes, everywhere she looked, Suzie saw the omnipotent hand and never-failing love of God. And once again, just before bedtime, Suzie closed her eyes and said her prayers because she believed in Jesus, and Jesus is the light of the world.